Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm a relationship hacker.
Run up and get touched up, suicide. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail. Run up and get touched up, suicide, that's it. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail.
What's up, y'all?
Shut it down. Boycott these
My name is
motherfuckers,
Truman.
we can shut it down.
And these are my true stories.
Shut it down. Boycott these motherfuckers, we can shut it
I got
down.
some real shit to tell
Shut
you
it down. Shut it down. Boycott these
about three
motherfuckers, we
black
can shut
people
it down.
out
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Y'all might
Shut
know
it
them
down. Boycott these
The
motherfuckers,
consumer.
we can shut
When
it
you get
down.
When you get paid, the whole world is waiting for you to give it away to people from other races so you can put their kids through school. But your babies is getting exterminated on the streets every day. Today's mathematics is 1.1 trillion. That's how much money my niggas be spending. But we don't make nothing and we buy everything. So we obviously fucking off the bread we be winning for real. And I don't care if you my blood or my cousin. If black lives don't matter, black money does. Nigga, fuck marching. Fuck burning up the town. Stop giving them your money and we shut this shit down. Shut it down. Boycott these motherfuckers.
Hey! That's the homie Truth.
Boycott these
New Truth Records. God damn. Hey, listen. The Zoe Up Morning Show back in the building on TradioV. That's Radio NTV. God. Truth be coming with that fire. I love it. Listen, you know how we do. It's important that we promote black businesses. I got a bunch of black businesses right here. So let's do this. He talking about Jordan? Damn. Oh, listen, my homeboy, speaking of shoes, we got a homeboy right here. The name of these shoes, I guess they get made at the same factory. They look like Converses, but they red, black, and green RBG with Africa on the side. You can find this brother on Facebook under Nagast Footwear. That's Nagast Footwear. Turn that down just a taste, man. Nagast Footwear. Please go find this brother on Facebook. Sign up with him. There you go. Get a pair of this brother's shoes, man. We got to support black businesses. That's just the bottom line. I like to find businesses that do things like this, little special things. If we don't support, we're not going to have a base, a political base where we have leverage. That's a black-owned business, black company. Please support that. Weed Juice. This brother comes every week and supplies us with fresh juice. Weed Juice. There's a $5 discount. All you have to do is put in the promo code We Live, We Love, Weed Juice. The final we is spelled O-U-I. We Live, We Love, Weed Juice. Please support weedjuice.com. That's my guy. What else we got? We got Freedom Paper Company. No need to buy Charmin from the white man when there's a black-owned business that can help you wipe your black ass. Please go support this brother, man. Freedom Paper Company. There's no reason. Is it wrong? I'm just saying. Freedom Paper Company. Go support this brother right now. Black-owned businesses, black products. Why not? God damn it. Easy Boy Web. Brothers out of Atlanta. Brother built my website. If you need your website built, this brother out of Atlanta got a team, can put together a website, e-commerce, the whole nine, social media, whatever. Look at my website. Pull my website up real quick. Pimp. IamZoeWilliams.com was built by these guys. Very professional work. Everything works. Everything is clean. Everything is icy. When you got a 15-year-old daughter and she go to your webpage, be like, Dad, it's icy. That's how you know, like, I'm in the loop. My daughter said it was icy. I'm in the loop. These brothers can build your website like that, man. They're icy. You feel me? Easy Boy Web. Gotta support them. Panache Ganache. This is the female cake boss. This is Jeff Brown's sister-in-law. She ain't no joke, man. You got a graduation, a wedding, or anything. She can build a cake. Look at that motorcycle cake. That's an edible cake. She can do anything. She's like the female cake boss. She's out of Chicago. Please support that young lady. Arise Hospitality. No reason for you to go to Staples or Office Max when there's a black-owned company that gets the same material. Same products. Ink toner, paper, furniture, bathroom, technology, hospitality. They do it all. Go to Arise Hospitality. AriseHospitality.com. No excuse to not do it. Elephant. Live free above negative thinking. Handmade clothing out of New York. Black owned. They create the same materials, same factory as Ralph Lauren. You love Polo? You love Lacoste? Go support it. You love Banana Republic? J. Crew even? These brothers do it. They do it all. You love the Gap? They do the same level, quality material work. Elephant. They too have a Zoe What discount. I don't know what it is. They're going to give you like 20%. I'm saying. Tell them Zoe Williams said y'all was going to give me 20% off of everything. Sup? What are you going to say, no? Tell them I said 20% today. What are you going to say, no? They going to turn that money down. They need that bread. Go support this brother. And he's a good brother. His name is Sydney. Y'all reach out for Sydney and say, hey, Sydney, what's up with that 20%, homie? Zoe said 20% is real. Y'all should be straight on that. What else we got? Okay. We got all of that done. Dr. G is back in the building talking to crazy. Man, I know so many people. I've been talking to crazy for years. I swear to God, you can't talk to crazy unless you have this manual. This is a manual on how to talk to the insane. There's a lot of insane people in our lives. And sometimes the insane person we talking to is ourselves. Get this book, Talking to Crazy. It's on Amazon. It's all over the world. You know how Dr. G does it. He's Jewish. He's white. White people have access. You can get this book in Madagascar right the fuck now. There's lemurs somewhere selling this motherfucker. You can get my book? Shit. You better come to the house. Knock on the door. Dr. G shit? This shit is everywhere, goddammit. You understand? Somebody go support Dr. G, right? Same with Bobby. You see Bobby on the street, he got a copy. Bobby got his book with him. My book with me. Dr. G is like, these are not even real books. These are prop books. You want the real book, nigga. Website, please. Go support Dr. Bobby Glanton. Real Men Don't Play at realmendon'tplay.com. Bobby's book is also available on Amazon.com. And then the homeboy Sean Collinson is in the building. Shit. Sean is kind of like Dr. G, too. His shit is available everywhere. It's just not no side hustle books. Me and Bobby, side hustle books. Right here. Sean Collinson. 7 Keys to Love. Don't play yourself. This one right here. I read this one. This shit right here, hotter than fish grease. You understand me? This is hotter than monkey lava. I'm telling you, this is straight magma for the court system and how to mediation. Don't play yourself, right? Please support my brother Sean Collinson. You know him as the mediator. Oh, and speaking of that, my book, The Relationship Dismount. How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. It's a breakup, makeup, and wake up book. 12 chapters. At the end of every chapter, there are some hella exercises. This book is not a joke. Don't play yourself. Get active. It was reviewed by, of course, Dr. John Gray. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. I mean, it's a very powerful manual on not only just breaking up, but making up, understanding the nature of relationship. It's a philosophical book. It's a journal. It's autobiographical. The book is cold. You can get a copy right now at imzoewilliams.com. Why are we playing this music right now? Just to have music? That's cool. I like that. We also have a raffle. Can you put up the raffle? A lot of people are having difficulty, in terms of, hey, man, how can I get your coaching? And then when they get to me, they go, oh, shit, coaching's kind of expensive. And I say, hey, man, well, let's do a raffle. My homeboy Kevin is the dude who gave me the idea. He said, man, you should raffle it off. Raffle off a book, raffle off the CD, raffle off a coaching session. So we created a raffle. If you go to my PayPal account, which is ZoeWilliamsOrders@gmail.com, send us $10. We'll send you a number. And in a couple of weeks, we're going to raffle off a free coaching session, which is $200 per session. We're going to raffle off a copy of the Relationship Dismount, right? Well, we're going to raffle off one of your books too? Look at Dr. G. We're going to bundle it. Oh, we could do what, Sean Collinson? We're going to raffle off all 3 of these books together. God damn it. You'll get, and this is about $80 right here. You get all of these books. If you go to my website or my PayPal, just $10. Bobby, Bobby's God damn it, you don't put my book in that shit. Then Bobby, there you go, 4 books, $10. Right? You get 4 books. We're going to raffle off the CD. We're going to raffle off a few things. But for $10, go to ZoeWilliamsOrders@gmail.com. Let's get it cracking right now. And in a couple of weeks, how it works is when I get your $10, I'll send you an email with a number. And then we're going to have a little ball here, and we're going to, live on the air, the raffle will happen. So support the movement. I've promoted all the business. Oh, wait a minute. Shit. Conscious Ent. I got 2 books, 2 more things to promote. While I'm unfolding this, booty boxing. I be getting my ass kicked fucking with him, man. He be kicking my ass every week.
Yeah, body boxing or booty boxing, the 8-week home system. Remember, it's almost Thanksgiving, so go ahead and get that so you can burn off some calories, so you can have that stuffing and turkey, or right after Thanksgiving, go ahead and burn it off. That's udemy.com, udemy.com/bootyboxing, and the promo code is ZoeWhatShow. Also, if you're getting punked or smacked up around there, you can learn how to box and get your defense on. So
you know what? I really think y'all should go hook up with Kevin. Anybody in the LA area, what's the email address for them to just reach out to you? Because I'm going to need somebody to stay me. Because I need somebody else there with me, because this motherfucker be trying to run me in the ground.
Man, you box for 5 minutes and be on the floor, man.
That shit is hard. I need a partner. What's your email address?
info@3bbootcamp.com. That's the number 3, B as in boy, bootcamp.com.
And then the homeboy, Tony Be Conscious, has the nigga shirts. I love these shirts, by the way. People always say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about when you say negus means God or negus means sovereign. They go, oh, you're getting it wrong. I'm talking about all of the terms that are connected to the word negus. Not just one. Linear-minded motherfuckers. Go get the shirt at consciousent.com, and it breaks down all of the meanings of the word on the back. Feel me? Support this brother Tony Be Conscious at consciousent.com. He's got the nigga shirt, all of that. All right, we done with this part of the show. When we come back, we're going to get into Dr. G's toolbox, and then the topic. It's going to be crazy. I'll holler at y'all in a second. Deuces!
Why is a white guy like me co-hosting a black radio show? I think toxic relationships cause you to take poorer care of yourself. If you can recognize danger, if you can pause, if you can take some breaths, refocus, and engage, you might be able to dodge a bullet that you're going to send or coming towards you. One of the things that men don't get is that often women need to vent first to clear their mind. So Whitey Locks is back in the room. It's nice to be back. Yeah.
Whitey Locks.
So let me give you my minority report, okay? Anyway, if you can show that clip about how unflappable are you. I have a book out called Talking to Crazy, and I spoke to someone. He said, your book isn't about talking to crazy. It's about how to become unflappable. And unflappable is good. And what you want to be is unflappable but present. You know, Mitt Romney was unflappable and inscrutable, so he came off as a robot. So you want to be unflappable. And I am so proud to be part of of a program with the main founders here of something called the P.O.P protocol, which stands for Pullover Protocol. And this is going to teach civilians how to be unflappable when the police pull them over, because police are amazingly well trained, and they're trained to notice things. And every time you become flappable, and every time you do something that surprises them, their hand goes to their gun because they're trained to notice things. But if you can learn exactly what to do when police pull you over, and that's what the pullover protocol is, and we have a website, popprotocol.org. It's going to save lives. It's going to keep stuff from going up on the internet. It's going to help law enforcement so they don't have some camcorder showing something that's just going to blow up that city and distract from what we all need to do. So I'm so proud to be here with the founders of it, Sean Collinson and Jeff Dyson, and they're going to get into this.
Well, it's good to have Doc back setting up the topic. We got our own pop for today's topic. The P.O.P, proper operational procedure to protect oneself against police brutality show. We did a show like this before. It was called To Disrespect and Serve. Part 2, goddammit. We need to find out a way on how to operate in the presence of police, especially for black people. What does that mean? For the average alpha black male, that means kowtow. It's real hard for an alpha to kowtow, but I guess you have to if they're gonna kill you. Fuck. This hurts, man. We have to do these kind of topics. We have to get different perspectives and have a dialogue on how we should do it. We've all heard about it when we were young, especially if we were raised without a dad, but raised with uncles, right? And granddaddy. It was always a, hey, when they pull you over, you move real slow. You understand? You understand? This is why it's important that you keep your paperwork clean. And if your paperwork is bad,
you wind up braiding some big niggas' hair.
But do you understand what I'm saying? There's always been a pop, right? A protocol in the hood on how to deal with police. But we need to find a new way. We need to find a more effective way. We need to find a way that can be passed down generationally. Why do we have to even think like that, though? To pass it down generationally. Is that to say racism with regards to the police is always going to be there? Even black dudes become police officers and then all of a sudden become racist because they have to uphold the blue line. You know, that blue line means something when that's your job and or your secret society. Ugh. I know people don't want me to talk about it like that, but that's what I'm going to do. Right? So let me welcome back a few people who are in the building to discuss today's topic. On the phone line, we've got the only female in the building.
Oh, shit.
Who you call her?
Ronnie Khan.
Ronnie Khan. Veronica Conway, transformational life coach in the building. What up, VC?
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Happy Monday to everybody in that room, to all my beautiful brothers in there.
Yeah.
And you too, Doc.
Hello.
Thanks.
Good morning.
Thanks, Ronnie. Thanks.
Yes. Now, we've got some old faces and some new faces and people back in the building. Let me just go this way. Sitting right next to me is author, world-renowned mediator, just cool dude. Used to be a hip-hop MC. Rapper. Now he's just fucking tight as a drum out here in this piece. You know him. Sean Collinson.
What's up, Zoe?
Give him the mic, man. Say hello to everybody, Pimp.
What's up, Zoe? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm alive and well. Are you ready to tackle this very needed discussion today?
This is a needed discussion.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here with Jeff, Mark, and all you guys discussing the P.O.P protocol.
Absolutely.
We need a new perception on this thing.
I agree. Let's get at it.
Let's get it in.
Jeff Brown, the intellectual irritant, has returned after a short hiatus.
A little hiatus, man. Put it where it is. I had to go make that paper. I had to pay for some things.
I ain't mad at you, Pimp.
Yeah.
Handle your scandal like a vandal.
Oh. What? Can I intro this dude right
Yes,
here?
you can.
Can I? Okay. Let me take y'all back to 1997. Okay.
Here we go.
Right when I optioned my first screenplay, I was very serious about writing some stuff. Many of y'all may know I do a little writing. I took this class that was very, very, very. I ain't gonna pub the dude's name, but his class is very expensive. It's very, very prestigious. The smart people go. I was in there with Denzel. Angela Bassett was in there that weekend, and this dude to my left, Jeff Dyson. And you talk about 1,000 Hollywood stories. You waiting on the book. I don't know why he don't write a book. He got all the dirt, all the people you want to know about. Let's see if we can get some of that on the show today.
But he talking about the POP protocol today, Jeff. Thank you. All righty.
Okay.
Shit.
Thank you.
And we're off the rails.
Thank you, Jeff.
Jeff is back.
I hope to live up to that one.
Promptly off the rails. We want to talk about all of the dirt.
Right. What's the next show?
I love it. I love it. Mark Goulston back in the building. Good to have you, Mark.
I'm glad to be here.
We've got Kevin Berenger
What is up, sir?
of the Norfolk Berengers. And of course, Uncle Bobby. Let's just do it. The sage, right? Let's just do it like this. Has the video camera and cell phone feature become the biggest weapon against police malconduct? Is that shit actually working? A lot of police officers are now trying to make filming them illegal. A lot of police departments are moving towards making civilians who are filming a situation illegal. Why are they trying to do that if they're in the right? Anybody got anything to say to that, Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't even talking to you because you're not looking.
Oh, wrong Jeff.
The other Jeff.
Okay, other Jeff. Jeff is looking. All right.
He's back. Jeff is back. I love it.
See you to hear you. Steve ain't got to see you to hear you.
Well, to answer your question, in my opinion, I don't think that it's because the police department is doing anything illegal. I think what it does is they probably feel that it unfairly empowers the civilian to interrupt police business.
What?
Because if you're being asked to do something by a police officer, you're being asked to do it. And if you're filming them, you're more than likely going to be concentrating on filming them versus doing what you're being asked to do. So at the end of the day, the POP protocol is a scenario under which you take control of the situation to the degree that you're able to follow instructions and not do anything that's going to escalate the situation to a situation that might get you hurt, imprisoned, or killed.
Wow, Jeff, I know you have a response. Anybody?
Wiggity wow. Okay. When they say being illegal to be filmed, and this is rhetorical, do they mean the person that the suspect, or do they mean innocent bystanders? Because
they're even talking about innocent bystanders now.
Okay.
They're not just talking about the person who's, being accosted or being held up or being investigated. They're talking about the third party person with the cell phone.
Okay. This leads into my rant, but yeah, I don't think like my grandmama said, if you doing something good, you ain't got to do it in the dark. So this whole concept that I'm somehow hindering your investigation, not if I'm 15 feet away with a camera, I'm not. I'm hindering your good old boy get down perhaps, but I gotta disagree with that.
Think about the guy who filmed Eric Garner. He went to jail. We found something on you, you going to jail. Why am I even being investigated, pimp? I just filmed it.
Well, that's
well, you filmed us killing somebody.
So
we don't like that.
Well, that's another problem. We want to make a souffle, but don't nobody want to break no eggs. Okay, it's gonna be something, man. We all of this right now. I mean, I love this show. I love this concept, but we are arranging deck chairs on the Titanic because this shit is going down like 4 flat tires. The only reason that, and this is still on topic, but the only reason that the news that the dollar is worthless has not come out yet is because they don't know what to do with all these people yet. And once they figure it out, once they got all that in place, it's gonna be mayhem in the goddamn street.
Oh shit, Jeff's back.
I think at the end of the day, my suggestion that the suspect was filming. Right? I don't think that somebody 15 feet away filming the police officer doing his job is
a criminal.
In any way
right.
illegal, should be illegal, or interfering with their job.
Right.
At the end of the day, the POP protocol is about taking self-ownership.
Right.
Right?
What I can do in this scenario.
Absolutely. What I can do to get out of this scenario, because inevitably everybody driving a car at some point is going to be faced with being pulled over, dealing with a police officer for anything from speeding to running a red light, stop sign, et cetera, et cetera. So at the end of the day, when you're pulled over, you do have a level of control.
Wow.
In that driver's seat.
Wow.
And that police officer, more than likely, we're not talking about road cops here. We're talking about police officers just trying to do their job, is going to only do as much as he or she feels they have to do to control the situation.
Wow.
And if you, the suspect, or the person being pulled over, raises that level of that window that police officers came to the car expecting to deal with, then somehow you have to take ownership of that.
Wow. Listen, we got to take a quick break, but when we come back, Veronica Conway, Mark Goulston, Kevin Battinger, and you know who, Uncle Bobby G, gonna weigh in on this most pressing topic. We'll be back at 2.2 TradioV, that's radio and TV. You're listening to the So What Morning Show. I'll be back in a quick second, man. It's gonna get crazy.
New accusations tonight of police using excessive deadly force caught on cell phone video.
Give me your hands, show me your hands!
Police make this demand more than a dozen times.
Show me your hands!
4 Wilmington, Delaware officers with guns drawn Wednesday afternoon responding to a call of a man with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. 28-year-old Jeremy McDowell was previously paralyzed from the waist down from a gunshot 10 years ago. On Wednesday, police say they thought he was reaching for a gun. Moments later, a barrage of bullets, killing him. McDowell's mother disputes police, who say a gun was recovered near her son's body.
This is unjust. He had his hands on his lap when they opened and fired on him 5 more times.
The 4 officers involved have all been put on paid administrative leave pending an investigation. In the last 5 months, there's been a sharp uptick in officer indictments. At least 14 police officers have been charged with committing murder, homicide, or manslaughter while on duty. Some say it's because so many of these incidents are videotaped.
All right, so the cops see him. They point the gun immediately. He's getting out of the car. And go, boom, immediately, chokehold. And Dent says, I was trying to get out of the chokehold, and then they punch him in the head 16 times. And they said he was resisting arrest because he was putting his hands up. Yeah, that's because you were choking him and punching him in the head. Look at the state that he's in. And if that wasn't enough, they used a stun gun on him 3 different times, in the legs and in the stomach. 10 cops showed up. According to Dent's lawyer, all 10 are white. They pound the living crap out of him immediately, okay? Now, let me tell you more about the case. After a judge saw the video, the charges of resisting arrest and assault were immediately thrown out. Dent still faces drug possession charges. Why? Because they claimed that they found crack cocaine in the car. Hold. I'm going to tell you more about that in a second. First of all, I saw the whole video, man. The guy's driving in a perfectly nice car. They say, oh, well, he was in an area where there might be drugs. He's near Detroit. The whole area might have drugs. Yes, we understand that. It's the flimsiest excuse in the world. They turn on the sirens, and he goes for another 5-10 seconds before he pulls over, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And then you saw the video pick up right there. He stops, he opens his door like, hey, what's going on? Boom, and they're on him. Because assume guilt instantly, right? Look, the judge saw all the video and all the evidence and immediately threw out the charges.
We're talking about a traumatized, clearly troubled 16-year-old girl who was refusing to leave the classroom. The fact that he felt he had no choice, presumably, but to act in this manner, that's the problem.
Well, one of 2 things happened here. Either this is just a really malicious cop, or it's someone who can't control his temper. And I think in either case, it's probably not someone who should be in this line of work.
Right, because the specifics are disturbing of the incident, the minutia, but the broader picture is even more disturbing. What are we going to achieve societally by treating a 16-year-old girl who may well have been misbehaving, who may well have injected her her past, her trauma, whatever, into this situation with a police officer inappropriately? But what are we going to achieve by a cop manhandling her and then putting her into the juvenile criminal justice system? If you're worried that her life might be poised to go in the wrong direction, you're guaranteeing it by treating school children, by treating what should be disciplinary issues in this way. You're becoming part of the problem.
Yep. See, let me just say this. I don't mind a protocol, right, on how to operate and how to interface with police officers. I think it's useful. I think it's important. But what aspect is being glossed over here is the term rogue cop. See, rogue cop insinuates, infers, intimates that this is an isolated incident where these motherfuckers is like a rogue killer whale. You know, whales are
12,000 whales, and then there's this one.
Right. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So killer whales live in a pod. So the pod, you know, it's the family, they cool, but then there's the rogue killer whale who's not with a pod, who will mash on anything. Orca. This nigga's just wildin'. And it's funny that the whale metaphor, the killer whale, they black and white too. Right? Right? So the insinuation is that it's very few rogue cops. I'm saying this is a rogue institution.
Wow.
And the good cops are in the minority. The good cops form little small pods.
Yes.
And then the rest of it is Gotham. You feel what I'm saying? The rest of it is wayward. Now, who wants to argue that? How many times have police who are supposed to protect the community wind up infecting the community because they see the dirt going down? Police are just like toys on the shelf at Toys R Us. Police can be purchased too. How many? Am I bullshitting? The mafia made a business out of purchasing police officers, purchasing precincts, purchasing judges, purchasing a politician. Why do we sit here and act like we're not gonna have this part of the conversation? Everything is about the citizen lining up, and you know, this is how you interface properly with this badged demon. Who wants to speak on that shit? Mike's open.
Well, you know,
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Let's get Veronica in, and then I'm gonna come to Jeff and everyone else. VC?
Okay. So, yeah, I think we have to challenge what I'm going to call fundamentally a conservative narrative. I think the Fraternal Order of Police is by definition conservative. And when you talk about what's conservative, you have to ask yourself, what are you conserving? What are you protecting? They're not protecting people. They're protecting the status quo. They're protecting property. So just like the Republicans want the rules changed midstream on the debate because they don't like the consequences, cops want the rules changed mid-revolution because they don't want the consequences of the cameras. And I think we have to challenge that narrative that has them feel comfortable being proactively aggressive and then crying victim about it.
Men?
Well, what I was going to say, Veronica, was at some point we have to take responsibility for what we do. And if we can have driver's education, sex ed in school,
Agreed,
and other types of education, why can't we have education on how to deal with police officers? Because your very life could depend on it, based on what you do.
Yeah.
Steam is coming out of Jeff's ears over here. So at the end of the day, again, the POP protocol is meant to give everyday law-abiding citizens a leg up, sort of even the playing field, if you will, when they're in a one-on-one situation or a one-on-two situation with police officers. Because, like Mark alluded to earlier, if you're flappable, then you're probably going to do something that you're unconscious of, and that police officer is looking at every move you make.
Mark Goulston, how does one become unflappable? This is because these are highly charged emotional situations when you get pulled over by a cop. Anxiety level rises, cortisol, stress, all this shit is happening. Doc, how does one maintain a level of cool in that situation? Speak on it.
Well, I think the more you're trained for any situation, look at the military. Jeff can weigh in about the Marines. The more you're trained for any situation, the more in control and less out of control you get. But something I want to throw back to Veronica, and this is, I think it's relevant, but in Black Mastery, don't you coach blacks on how to not blow an interview, how to not blow a business deal? And what if they say, why can't I just be myself? Well, you could say, well, if you're yourself, then you're going to lose a business deal. So every conversation is a potential to blow an opportunity. So we're just weighing in that this is a conversation between police and civilians where if they blow an opportunity, someone can get their head blown off. So I think it's a way of just teaching people that every conversation is something that can go sideways, and sideways is, in some situations, you lose a deal. Sometimes sideways is you lose your life. And so this is just an approach to teaching people how to have conversations that don't go off the rails where someone gets really hurt. So I think it's the principle of training people how to have a conversation without it going bad.
Right. But tonight.
Wait, Kev, and then back.
Let her answer. Go ahead and let her answer.
God damn it, Kevin!
No, Veronica.
Follow the protocol, Pop.
She had an immediate answer.
Go, Veronica.
Go ahead, Veronica.
Okay. So yes, but the other piece of that is yes, you train people because what Black Mastery does is it gets to the root of cognitive dysfunction, and I think that the biggest cognitive dysfunction that exists in the battle between black people and police. It's the police's cognitive dysfunction. In other words, if you're familiar with the implicit association test, right, which defines bias, it describes how bias is pervasive in those split seconds of reaction. And when they apply the implicit association test to police, right, because their reactiveness to their perceived bias is consequential, right? People could lose lives because of it. We're seeing that all over the place. We have to get to the root cause of that cognitive bias that exists among the blue line, because that's the root of the problem. It is not the civilians' problem; it's the police's problem. They have cognitive bias, and they're armed with weapons, and then they can exert that cognitive bias on a human being.
Veronica, this is Sean Collinson with the P.O.P protocol. I think what you're saying, you just hit a key mark for me. And what we've tried to introduce with the P.O.P protocol is exactly what you're saying. There is a cognitive disconnect in what's going on. And the only way that we believe to bridge the gap is going to be with education and training to erase some of the ignorance and a lot of the biases and some of the cognitive thinking that has prevailed under the color of authority. So what happens automatically is within this P.O.P protocol, if anyone is interested, the website is popprotocol.org. And if you go there, when you see the mission statement and the vision, you're going to start to understand that it's not 100% to discrimination, and that the actions of the police are coming down to the behavior and the attitude of the suspect. Once you're in custody and that police officer has accosted you and you've been said, hey, I need to speak with you or talk to you, under the color of authority, you're in custody. The rights that you think you have been diminished at best, and now you're expected to behave a certain way. Once I spoke to an undercover LAPD police officer, and he said, once you get the attitude or your behavior is foul, you put the ceiling at the top. He says, we have nowhere to go. He said if you make one false move, the ratio is 0.2 of a second of a bullet being inserted into your body.
Exactly.
Those odds are against you whether you're black, red, or brown. What we've decided to do in the protocol,
Or white.
what we've decided to do in the protocol is bring in POP certified and POP trained police officers, try to find the bridge, somewhere meet in the middle. Not everyone's going to get what they want or be happy, but we think through education, like my partner Jeff and Mark has said and indicated, this is something that can be done. And we can experience a better outcome. Thank you, Veronica.
You know, so, one quick thing. I'm the chief learning officer for POP Protocol, so I'm partners with them. And part of what I'm going to oversee is training the police about their biases.
That's, to me,
that's the biggest.
To me, that's bigger than the people.
No. So it's in two directions. So it's not just for civilians.
That's right.
Part of what I oversee is how do you get police to recognize they have these biases, and it can make them trigger happy in certain situations. So I'm overseeing that.
See,
and it's going to go in both directions.
Because what's so big here before I go to break? The number one offenders of domestic violence, domestic abuse, are police officers. And it's true.
Not 100%.
They're more than anybody else.
That's a broad statement.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
The numbers don't say that. Statistically,
they don't say that.
The numbers don't say that.
They don't say that.
Military and police.
They don't say that.
The numbers don't say that.
They don't
I just looked at that. I just looked that up.
Police and military.
Okay,
Truck drivers, police, and military. The
Well,
police
see-
are in there. So how can, just hear what I'm saying. How can we have a sick society stand on justice, stand on liberty, stand on the balance of the scales, until the police have been vetted? See, being a police officer has to be something noble. Becoming a police officer can't be seen as a lick. Like, oh shit, I've made it to a particular point in society where this is a lick for me.
Right, they want to do that, but I think
if these motherfuckers are not full of integrity, how can they police a community?
Right, but that goes back to what Dr. Golston is saying. He's the chief learning officer, and he's going to bridge that gap. No one wants to look at their faults or their problems. When you focus on faults and problems, they get larger, and the people who have the faults and the problems evade the solution. So in the POP protocol, we're going to focus on the solution, because whatever you focus on gets larger.
That's the reality.
Yeah, that's the
fuck
reality.
with that.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, through the media, it's always the civilians' fault.
The media has
the police are always exonerated.
Right.
The police are
wait a minute.
always on a
Hold
desk
up.
job
Wait a minute.
until this has been cleared up, and then they come back.
Right, but let me say this.
Come
now,
on.
Now, I'm in court, and I was on a case with Mary O'Callahan, the LAPD officer, on Alicia Thomas. We were on that case. Now, I think civilians don't realize is there's something called under the color of authority. They operate under an entirely different governmental set of laws under the color of authority.
We know.
And but we want to make sure that if you don't know what you're working with, you don't know how to get where you're trying to get.
Okay, listen, we gotta take a break. They pushing me right now. God damn it, I'm hot right now. When we come back, god damn it, hell nah. Pop, we need to figure out a new way to deal with these motherfuckers, man. The protocol has to be rewritten. We'll be back at 2.2 Zoe Morning Show. Turned up!
Alex Saunders may not be the only 10-year-old who never imagined getting arrested. Did you have any understanding why you were being taken to the police station?
No, sir. My 10-year-old son arrested by police. Come into the school and take my child.
Alex's mother says it was her son who was bullied on Friday and in the past by the unidentified student whose parents filed a complaint against Alex.
A lot of time he come home, say that they beat him up, whatever, bully him, whatever. I could go file a complaint too, but they're kids.
His mother went to the precinct as well. There, she says, she was separated from Alex, who was questioned by police officers. She says it took 3 hours.
I said, what did they do to you on there? He say that they question him. They question my child and that they put an handcuff on his hand.
They handcuffed him?
Yes, sir. They handcuffed my 10-year-old. I was feeling bad.
What did you do when he grabbed your arm and put it behind your back?
I pulled away from him.
Tye Nelson says it all unfolded Sunday morning just outside his home. Detroit police wanted to know whether the boy knew about a stolen TV from a home invasion several blocks away. Another child who admitted to breaking into that home told police Tye was also involved. But Crystal Williams says her son was asleep at the time of the overnight crime. Mother and son say that didn't stop officers from putting the 11-year-old in handcuffs, placing him in the back of the squad car, and hauling him off. And that's your son screaming.
Yeah, talking about mom help me.
Tye spent the night in police custody as investigators tried to determine whether he played a part in that home invasion. The next day, all charges were dismissed. Tye and his mother are now pursuing legal action against DPD, accusing officers of using excessive force.
I had a panic attack because they kept trying to accuse me of something I didn't do. They kept trying to make me tell on myself and to talk about, I told them I didn't do it.
And then the police officer, they were so rude, were like, we don't need a search warrant. We can come in your house.
Police report indicates that this 6-year-old pushed other children and was throwing furniture around, trying to run away from Creekside Elementary School on Monday. That is when the school system called police. Now, Silesia's parents and the National Action Network say the school and the police overreacted by treating this child like a criminal. They say she will now need counseling.
Every time she see a police officer, she think they come to get her. She can't sleep well, and I can't sleep well thinking about it. And every time she see an officer, she think they come to get her.
Has she had nightmares?
Yes.
The principal said she was some kind of police. Then, why did she call the police? I'm not even doing that thing.
Did you ask her to call your mommy? What happened? What did she say?
She said no. She won't put me in the room by myself.
Tell us about the handcuffs. What did they do to your hands?
They hurt me.
Bruh, I'm gonna tell you right now. I ain't gonna say
you don't want me
this
to
for
set the
rant.
show up, but it's cool.
No, I can't hold it in.
Jeff's back.
I'm tell you what. And this is not a threat. This is the truth. If a police officer ever come at my wife or my kids' file, I'm gonna be on the news the wrong way, because there's certain shit worth dying for. And I know what I'm doing with. No, I ain't gonna go that way. I ain't gonna go that way. If you too close to me, your gun ain't no good. I'm nice. You gonna do something to me, but you ain't gonna do something to me first. I'm gonna do something ugly. I'm gonna bite your fucking nose off and swallow it. Some kind of shit. Swallow it. SWALLIT.
It's like wallet.
Swallow it. Don't put your hand. I'm going real Farrakhan right now. Don't put your goddamn hands on my family. I ain't like the rest of these. I'm not talking about y'all, but I'm not passive at all. I am not playing. Okay, if you come adversarial at my family, I'm coming back.
Jeff, hold on. Pam, take it easy.
All right.
We have a police officer on the line.
Oh, him too. I'll jump on you.
What we want to do is get his perspective, and then when we come back from him, we're going to go to Bobby and Kevin Barron.
Tired of this shit.
What's the brother's name? Officer
Friendly.
Midwest.
Officer Friendly.
Officer Friendly. That's what we're going to call you. Holla at us, man, and tell us about, protocol and how one should interface with a police officer, and what are some of the telltale signs that we lack the ability to effectively interface with a police officer. We need to know a new way, because we're obviously getting our asses kicked out there for some reason. So tell us what we're doing wrong. We can't hear you, brother. You got to speak up so we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me? Is it better now?
Yeah, we
Yes,
got
sir.
you. Yeah, we got you.
Okay, I'm a black police officer in the Midwest in the Chicagoland area. I wanted to call in to simply say that I think the way that, from my experience, I'm a young man actually. I'm 23 years old, and the way that some officers communicate with young African American teens brings upon the reaction of young African American teens.
Wow.
As in the case of Mike Brown, when he was walking down the street, you don't tell anybody he was walking down the street in their neighborhood to get the F on the sidewalk, and then get mad when he calls you an effing kid. That situation could have been avoided, and a whole lot of things could have been avoided if it was up to the officers. Now, the reason that these situations are not being avoided because the cities, definitely in the Chicagoland area, is not training the police officers properly. Now, I'm saying this because, one, I'm sick and tired of it, and I just don't care anymore about the repercussions or anything, because I'm tired of seeing young kids being abused and murdered by police officers because the lack of training of police officers.
Wow.
In Illinois, period, point blank, police officers have absolutely no training. They just had a mass hiring of police officers from, I'm giving out my location now, from Joliet, Illinois, at the Joliet Junior College, that was in the criminal justice program, to enroll into the Joliet Police Department without any police academy training.
Whoa.
One, it's against the law.
Wow.
Two, it's unbelievable what's happening in here. But I don't think that black kids really have to change anything how they communicate with officers. I would be smart if I was them and not reach into my pocket for a cell phone, because you're giving them just a
probable cause
to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You give him, and it's not. I don't care if he had a Skittles or whatnot. If he reaches in his pocket and the officer shoots him, it's nothing that anyone can do in court, because we're officers. And unfortunately, if we go in and say, well, he could have been for a gun, because of the stereotypes of black male in the American ghetto, all white jury's gonna believe me. Period, point blank.
Man, I can't tell you how much I'm pleased with your call. I can't tell you. You guys got something to speak on it?
Hey, Officer Friendly. This is Jeff Brown, graduate of Proviso East High School. Had a house out there in Plainfield, so I'm kind of a little aware of the ground you cover. Question: how many times have you heard of or encountered a young black male pulled over, dead to rights, got the cops standing there, guns either out or guns there, where a young black male has actually pulled his gun out and shot at a police officer? How many times has that scenario actually happened?
Well, honestly, never. And the police in the area that I police, so she's saying you're from you lived in Plainfield.
Yes, sir.
Went to Proviso East. I'm familiar with that area. You know the Hill, right?
Yes, sir.
In Joliet.
Yes, sir.
Very rough neighborhood.
Yeah. I don't stop at stoplights over there. I just keep rolling.
I police that area.
Yes, sir.
And I've seen black kids who were stopped. None from in the project area ever pulled a gun out on me. I had a white squad person in my squad car who first thing he did was, when he comes out of the car, he unfastens that holster, that latch on that holster, and he gets into a position.
Yeah, he works into a lather.
Pull his gun out.
I'm finna do what my granddaddy did.
The body language is very important, and that's not proper training. So it's not. I don't believe it's the young black kids' fault. Sometimes it happens, but in this case, 95% of the time, it's not their fault. I don't believe so. After being on the police force for a year and a half, is highly unlikely. I've seen 3 shootings where cops have shot unarmed black teenagers, and no nation outrage, no nothing. But I can assure, if these kids, if their trials was even, if they were even tried, they weren't even sent. It was like Dan Wilson. It wasn't even tried. If it was, I would have definitely tried to go into witness protection and definitely was told what I've seen. But unfortunately, they weren't tried or anything. And you got to understand as well, I've done heard it. I've been a fan of the Zoe show for about a year now. I done heard it on there to where they were going in to say that police officers don't police people, they police stereotypes. And that's so true.
I've been saying that.
Yep.
I've been and who gonna argue that?
Racial profile.
I've been saying that. The black man and the black woman. I just gotta say this: the black people are seen a certain way. Everything about our life is to cope. We create coping mechanisms so we can be accepted, so we can be seen as less aggressive or more tolerant. Or, they don't accept us the way we are. And that's across the board in all aspects of life. Allen Iverson comes into the NBA, he comes with braids. They go, oh, shit, okay, what the fuck? Tattoos all over the place? We got to change the dress code. We can't accept them in the way that they are. We have to make them fit a certain image so they can be acceptable to us. Again, driving while black. It doesn't matter if you've committed a crime. You fit a particular stereotype. So if I see you hitting the corner and your music is banging and you got on a New Era fitted, you gotta be a thug. No, I'm a college graduate with a fucking master's degree. I just so happen to love hip hop. So when I get pulled over and you see my credentials is tight, what is the probable cause? It's not a broken law. It's a particular image. Police aren't policing people. They're policing stereotypes. I've been saying that for years.
Officer Friendly, this is Jeff Dyson. I have a question. What you say?
We lost him. He dropped. But still ask the question.
My question was going to be, as a police officer, does the civilian have the power to control, to some degree, the outcome of the interaction at the point of purchase or the point of impact? Does that civilian have the ability to change the outcome of that stop?
I think that's awesome. We got to take a break.
Absolutely.
Man. We'll be back in 2.2. Jesus.
Man, it's been a while. I forgot about that whole track and all that, man. I gotta get back up in here. Hey, everybody. Wow. If you deal with, my uncle used to work at a pig farm, and for the first part of his job, he had to deal with slopping hogs, with pig shit. Pretty soon, his car smelled like pig shit. His hands smell like pig shit. His clothes smell like pig shit. And all he could smell, and all anybody around him could smell, was pig shit. Cops, sadly, you have to deal with society's shit. So pretty soon, everything starts to look and smell to you like shit. And do you know what happens to people who get close to you? They get shitty. Because you are so used to dealing with society shit. You see, everything you touch smell like shit. When you pull me over, you so used to dealing. There's some horrible niggas out there. I'm going to go and say it. It's some dudes, if I heard they was sitting on my mama couch, I would leave here right now. And I know that them dudes is who you used to dealing with. We ain't all them dudes. But you don't see us that way. You know why? Because the protocols that you now use were put in place before we were even considered human. So in order for you to treat me as a human, you have to know that you're not seeing me as a human, and I don't think you know that. Bad cops are the symptom. Good cops are the fucking problem. You're the problem. Let me put it this way. If we were in feudal times, and this was my clan, and someone from another clan, let's just say all our families were together, you're talking about maybe 500, 1,000 people, and someone from my clan, a boy raped a girl from another clan, the clan heads would come to meeting. And if we did not offer up the smoking gun guilty rapist, our clans go to war. It is that simple. That is not what happens when you are smoking gun guilty. Most times, we don't even know your goddamn name. There's a dude in the wheelchair, I know his name. I don't know the name of the 4 dudes that shot him. Why? Because good cops are taking the course of investigation. And here's the problem with that. I don't want to see another cop breakdancing with another kid. I don't want to see another cop helping somebody across the fucking street, because the people who help people across the street and help the people in the wheelchairs are not the same motherfuckers that's out killing innocent people. So pretty please with sugar on top, stop parading around the one good thing you do, like the bad kid that decides to be good 2 weeks before Christmas. I am so fucking tired of that shit. Let me see. Quit pretending that it's everybody's problem. If it is, where's the white body count? There is no lack of training. This system is working perfectly as it was designed. It was never designed to give people without money any justice. Speaking of money, you can, black people, sedity niggas, that's the people who recoil from the word nigga, understand that you cannot educate, financially generate, or geographically relocate your way out of your skin.
Wow.
All right? This is a problem of humanity. This is about humanity. And until black people realize that we are all going to have to unify, all this shit we doing right now is academic. And I love everybody here at this table, but that's not the problem. The real problem is cops ain't got no fucking skin in the game.
Ooh-wee. Hey, my mic. Yo. Jeez, Jeff, intellectual rant. Welcome back. Bobby Glanton said something very poignant during the break. So I'm going to go to Bobby, then I'm going to go to Kev, and then I'm going to go to Veronica, and we're going to come back into the room. Bobby?
I done been to jail and hell, and they both the same. And the key thing about the probability of getting arrested if you are the color that I am, it's pretty high. And it's high enough that when you're confronted with an arrest situation, like I was walking while black, and having grown up dealing with the Klan, a lot of people are becoming reintroduced to the Klan where they lived across the railroad track from me in Tennessee as a child. And I've seen just about every indignity that you can imagine. And at some point you have to ask yourself, do I submit all of the time, or do I pick my battles? There, to this day, resides in my heart somewhere the desire to put a bullet in the head of any policeman that has ever put me in a situation where I knew that it was about the color of my skin. I mean, that's somewhere innate in me. But at the same time, I have not given up on the notion that the greater victory is being able to sit here right now with options. One of the things that we have to accept is it's not a perfect world. It's not going to get better till we do. And when I say we, I'm talking about people who look like me. We have to change the narrative to the point where we're not always in a reactionary position. Because there are some people in our community that we need to be able to unleash in certain situations, not over the internet, not over this microphone, to deal with situations that need to be dealt with.
My man.
But I'm sick of folks talking that shit while Zimmerman is still walking down the street free as a bird.
Thank you.
And talking shit. Then you got this cat in Missouri that killed Michael Brown. He bragging about what he done to us. But everybody's all geared up talking about what they gonna do when it should have done got done if it was gonna really be about that. But then we also have to look at the rest of the picture too. There's room for everybody. The pacifists, the brother that need to be on top of that hill with that 30-06, it's room for everybody. What these brothers are doing right here, that's for the folks that want to get home safely tomorrow and the next day take care of their families. There's room for your advocacy. We need to understand poverty is a serial killer. And until we address the fact that we have not put money in our midst and recycle that money to the point where the value of a black life has elevated to the point where it's too expensive to kill niggas, I'm telling you, there are some places right now that are going to put a moratorium on killing niggas before they go bankrupt.
Wow.
Trust me, it's going to happen. But that's not going to satisfy those people who really just keep on wanting to, push the envelope and talk about something that they're not going to back up. Get in your lane and put some work in. That's all I'm asking all of my people to do. Put some work in somewhere instead of always wanting to point fingers and say, well, we should have did that. Now the question is, what did you do?
Love it, love it, love it. Good stuff. Bobby G!
So, most everybody who's seen me on the show before know that I talk about the law all the time and how melanated people should learn the law. And so when you get pulled over, you're technically under arrest. And so this is the legal definition of arrest. And so it's the taking under assumed or real authority, custody of another for the purpose of holding or detaining him to answer a criminal charge or civil demand. So when a police officer pulls you over, you're under arrest. You legally have to do whatever he says. Now, just because he doesn't pull you out of the car and do this or that, that's under his own discretion.
Yeah.
So, immediately when you heighten the situation, you understand they're peace officers. So what a peace officer is taught to keep the peace. So they look for any type of aggression, any type of thing that's outside of peace in order for them to literally just go in on you. So if you keep calm and you keep the peace, they have nowhere else to go with that. And I've been pulled over 4 or 5 times with 5 police cars coming over, pulling out. And I've always remained calm, and every single time I've walked away. Even after being handcuffed, even after being told I had a warrant out for my arrest, in handcuffs, I've always been let go and released. And so it's the law that most melanated people have to understand. And going back to what Jeff said, unity is in your power. Now, the Black Lives Matter thing, they have some things going, but they don't understand their true power is going to come from them organizing and then learning the law and then going out and teaching the community, the people in these communities, how to deal with local laws and procedures in the court system. Because when you have an organization, when you have somebody backing you up, it's a whole different game. You can be out there, Black Lives Matter, but then when some shit happens, though, and you have an organization with a voice that comes behind you and says something, then it's a whole different game. They have to listen to you. Just going back to Hillary Clinton and some of the Democratic people, they were asked by Black Lives Matter. They were harassed at one of their at their lectures, and the main thing they said was, "Look, I want to get in office to create policies to help Black Lives Matter." You don't understand? It's the law that you can scream Black Lives Matter from the rooftop all damn day, but if there's no laws to help your ass out, then there's nothing you can do.
Good point. Good
It's all
point.
about the
So
law.
listen, Veronica, then Jeff.
Yeah.
Veronica respond, and then
Right.
Jeff.
Yeah, so we have to understand that the psychological warfare always precedes physical warfare. So what
She
has
says
been
psychological warfare always precedes physical warfare.
Yeah, propaganda dropped out the sky.
right. So psychological warfare it softens us and convinces us that Black lives have no value, and it convinces the police that too, right? So in the meanwhile, you have to begin to ask the question about the nature of police, okay? So the Fraternal Order of Police is the most potent lobbying body in the country. 312,000 cops, and politicians don't mess with them because they're protected. because they're protecting the status quo. So they don't have to respect anybody. In New York, they didn't even have to respect their mayor, Bill de Blasio, when they disagreed with him, because they feel like they're above the law. So, but the deep part of it is that right now, in the last 5 years, we've spent, the cops has paid out $1 billion in police brutality cases. Those are just the ones that settled. That's taxpayer funded. So basically, the taxpayers are funding their murder and their brutality against the citizens. So at some point, you have to look at that sort of as a perfect storm of aggression, of entitlement, of not having to answer to anybody, not even their own mayor. And you have to really question what and begin to tear apart what kind of an organization that really is at the root.
Jeff?
Ronnie Khan, what do you, okay, let me start with my solution and I'll ask you what yours is. If you notice, you never hear about Saudi Arabian police brutality. You know why? Because over there, people in the Middle East don't mind strapping bombs to themselves and walking into a police station and hitting a switch. Because from what I learned in Chicago is the only thing an aggressor respects is equal or greater aggression. What do you think the solution is, short of that shit I just inferred?
I think you have to put not only political but more importantly economic pressure on the chain of command. In other words, police are operating on orders. The reason they get away with stuff is because no matter what they do, no matter how militarized they show up, somebody co-signs that from on high. So at some point, you have to begin to put serious political and economic pressure on who they report to. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything.
Veronica,
Listen,
that's good stuff.
You can't hear the music. We got to take a quick break.
Okay.
When we come back, Jeff, we're going to come to you and Sean.
Okay.
Shit's getting crazy. We'll be back.
Let go of it! Let go of me! Dude, he's not a fucking runaway. Let go of it! Help us! I don't even know what's going on. Yes, I know. Do not fucking hit that child! You do not hit an underage child! You do not hit an underage child!
That doesn't give you the right to smack him.
If he's biting me, I can break his teeth away from him.
No.
I have this all on video. You just fucking hit a child. On video.
Now, as you could tell, that cop was bringing the child to some place where it looked like he probably didn't want to go, so that child reacted by biting him. The police officer tries to play it off and says, I didn't hit him, he bit me, it was just a slap on the forehead. To me, when you see someone's head go like that, that's not just a little tap on a guy's forehead, you know? And the cop isn't the biggest of people, but it's a 10-year-old boy, you know? I mean, if somebody laid hands on any of my kids like that, it would be pretty hard for me to not want to go after that person that just laid hands on my son. So my...
All right, Jake, how are we going to do this? Run.
You know.
You going to walk out with me? Mm-hmm. I'd much rather you walk out with me, bud, than me have to drag you out. I don't want to have to do that. Okay?
We have to fight. Somebody may get hurt. And that's going to last a lot longer than it has to.
Yeah, either you or one of us might get hurt, and we don't want to do that. Okay? Now, right now, this is a little problem that can be dealt with. Okay? We don't want it to turn into a big problem, because if one of us gets hurt, then you're going to end up going to jail, not to the hospital. Okay? We don't want to do that. Okay? What do you say, Jake? Why don't you help us out a little bit? Stand up and we'll walk out to the ambulance together, all right? What do you say, bud? Gonna answer me? Did you fall asleep? Right over. All right, come on, bud. Let's go. Come on, Jake. Let's go. We're gonna get up. Come on, we're gonna get up. Let's go. Let's go. Nope, not happening. Yep. Nope. Ah, oh, shit! Oh, God! Oh! Come on, step down. Step down. Oh! Broke my fucking arm! Come on. Oh!
Oh shit!
So
you should have prepared me for that shit. I almost threw up.
I know, right?
So
Damn.
let me just point something out. Couple of examples. The restraint the police officers used talking to Lil Jake. Now that video is about 10, 12 minutes. They spent 10 minutes talking to Lil Jake.
Lil Jake from State Farm.
They was hollering at Jake from State Farm for 10 minutes. And they did it in the most responsible, come on, Jake. I mean, come on, man. They even talked to other kids on the, you move down here, because in a minute we're going to have to move his ass. Yeah. Very calm, Now, here's the other flaw. If that was a black kid, first off, we already know what would have happened.
Right.
Jake would have got his arms broken way sooner than that.
Peanut butter way earlier.
Right, he would have got his ass beat way sooner than that, because they don't display that kind of patience with black kids. They just don't. That's number one. Number two, he didn't have to break his arm.
No.
He broke his arm because he's a fucking human being that was frustrated that he had to deal with this little fucker. And that's the part of police that need to be policed. So before we can say, okay, correct yourself, citizen. See, the only correction that citizens need is to understand that you fucking with a mentally unstable police officer
Yes.
who can only take so much shit from you.
And he's legally has the right to do whatever he wants once he arrests you, once you're under arrest.
So to me, we got to get clear about who the fuck they are. That's the Sentinels from the Matrix.
Wow.
Okay,
That's the motherfuckers that, hey, I might ask you in a nice tone to do what I need you to do. But just in case you're unclear, if you don't do what I need you to do, I'm going to take out all the bullshit that's happening in my life on you, bitch. and Jake recognized that. Did that motherfucker cooperate after that arm got snapped?
Boy.
Fuck, this arm! Shit! Did he act right?
Listen, Jake needed the pop protocol.
Right. See, there was
He got the protocol. He failed the course.
But there was something interesting going on there that the cops did have that much restraint. I think what my brother's saying over here, eventually you have to understand that when you're under arrest, everything that you have going on in your life is now obsolete. You must cooperate. They are not therapists. They are not counselors.
There's none of that.
You are under arrest.
Right.
Now look,
Right.
what the POP protocol is saying and what we believe is that Jake wanted to continue playing basketball. If Jake would have if he was left-handed, he'll be playing right-handed now.
You got a right-handed jump.
So the name of the game is saving lives one stop at a time. Now look, even if the cops were trained by Mr. Mark Galston, Dr. Galston, the protocol says that, hey, there is a certain amount of tolerance, but also we have to be responsible too. Jake looked like he was at least 14 or 15. He could have stood up easily and said, officer, I'm getting off the bus. Please show me the way. It's two of you. I need a tour guide. And we could have peacefully got off the bus. So there's responsibility on both sides of the badge.
No question.
Okay?
This is why your POP protocol is fucking needed. Because at the end of the day, please understand you're a slave in this society.
Yes.
That driver's license.
The bottom line is you're a fucking
That driver's
slave.
license.
But not just by police. We have responsibilities and obligations. They start at home. If you're at home disrespecting your parents and talking crazy, and when someone says, go clean up your room, you're telling your mom,
F you, biatch, and you speaking to your mother like she's your friend from your classroom, and your daddy can't say nothing to you, and as soon as you touch him, you gonna jump off bad. You 13, you gonna raise up on somebody. Well, that cop has kids. And when you raise up on that school bus, now you need Obamacare to get your arm fixed.
Yeah, he need Obamacare for sure. Doc?
I mean, I just hate to be so excited. I
love it. We want to get you out your fucking element.
POP Protocol is about
Brooklyn.
popprotocol.org is about educating both sides of the badge. We are at a disadvantage for one reason only, and only one reason can only keep me at a disadvantage, and it's knowledge. If I understand the knowledge, I have to apply it in order to have power. Yes. Once I have the knowledge and I know what to do with it, and I do it like Uncle Bobby said, I'm not going to keep going, what have you done for me lately? I have to see what I'm going to do about it. So when you go to popprotocol.org, get involved, and let's make a difference.
Dr. G, then Jeff, then Bobby.
Yeah, what we're all about is, raising the boiling point so you don't boil over too early. You put salt in boiling water, you raise the boiling point. So on both sides of the badge, what you do is we want to train people so that they have a higher boiling point before things turn real messy. I mean, it can reach a point where anything's going to boil over, but if we can just increase that on both sides of the badge, and clearly from the officer friendly who called in, he was the one who was saying, boy, the police really need training in this sort of thing. We're doing both ends. We're trying to get people to be able to handle stress before it explodes.
God bless you, Doc. God bless you. You know I love you. But when we keep talking about raising the boiling point, nobody wants to talk about the motherfucker that's turning up the heat.
Nobody wants to talk about the temperature of the
I'm not burning you with propane. I'm burning you with methane now.
When we talking about the temperature of the African American community, ain't shit really went down. I mean, Ferguson, if we want to look at Ferguson as like a major happening, Ferguson wasn't shit compared to the 91 riots.
No.
That was a hiccup, right? That was a tremor. Ain't shit really went down in a long time. So when you talk about the temperature and raising the boiling point, African Americans, and I'm talking particularly our communities, have been tolerating a fucking billy club up the ass for many years. Let's not act like police brutality isn't commonplace. Can we stop? We always try to make it seem like, well, there's a certain way you can behave. You motherfucking right, there's a certain way I can behave. But at some point, righteous indignation has to play a point. Even in the civil rights movement, the civil rights people, the protesters, were against the police. The police were legally within their rights to sick dogs on them. Legally. But do you understand? There was a time when those civil rights people were fighting the police, just like some people have forgotten to do in our community today. We forget about Tamar Rice. We forget about all of this shit that happens. We get a little burn and then it goes away. Shit ain't sustained like it used to be. So let's stop acting like, we somehow are heated and it's a powder keg. This ain't back in the day like Elijah Muhammad talking about there's a powder keg. Ain't no fucking powder keg. We are a firecracker community. Bobby?
Actually, I think there's more examples recorded today than there was in the era that you just spoke of, because we were just assuming that it was like that back then. But now we know for a fact that the injustices are there. And as a people, collectively, our response has been nothing but a whole lot of, yeah. Because the truth of the matter is this, the economics that play into this, I'm going to say it one more time, poverty is a serial killer. We got more people that are stressed out across this country right now because they have not.
Right.
They don't have the resources, they don't have the will to mount an offense against the obvious. All right? The truth of the matter is, right now, if all of the people that are complaining rallied around these cases that we know are strong cases. The Eric Garner case.
Yes.
Tamar
Rice.
The brother in South Carolina that got shot, trying to get his life and all that. Man, if you mount enough of those cases right now, man, they got to do something because the lights start going out with these lawsuits.
Right. Jeff?
The lights start going out.
And then Kev, and then we're going to wrap with Veronica. Let's make it quick. We got 2 minutes.
What if everybody black, we said the next time somebody black dies wrong, we're not paying our taxes for 5 years?
Now you talking, Jeff.
That's big.
What if we started the next time that CNN or Fox News decides to misspeak or show black people in the wrong way, we all watch Fox News for a week and write down every product when they go to commercial and tell them that nobody black's going to use those products for 6 generations?
What if all the black sisters?
changing.
What if all the black sisters, who and I'm speaking to the sisters here now. What if you all stop watching Scandal?
Ouch!
Right, because you don't want Raven Simone on The View. You don't want Raven Simone support or representing you as a black person. So you stop watching Scandal. Then you stop watching the other one, How to Get Away with Murder. And you stop supporting all ABC programming. Blackish, all that shit. You stop watching Empire.
That's right.
Now you can see your power.
Yes.
Right?
Start having a financial.
You can see your power.
Got to have a financial temper tantrum.
That's
right.
Just real quick, the greatest thing they fear is black people or melanated people together who know the law. I'm telling you right now, if you get together and you start knowing the law, get together with people and learn it together, because learning it by yourself can be very hard. But once you have people to bounce it off of and go off of, it can be a lot easier. But you have to learn the laws, the local laws, and your laws of your state in order for you to understand how to handle yourself with the police. That goes back to the P.O.P protocol.
Veronica, 30 seconds.
Yeah. So we have to understand that there is a profit, there's a huge and massive profit incentive to incarcerate. Right?
Go ahead.
In Ferguson, there was a profit motive to oppress, and they found that they made a ton of money by policing and oppressing those people. And there's a profit incentive to incarcerate vis-a-vis the prison industrial complex. Until we remove the incentive for profit for incarcerating black bodies, they will continue to answer to that beast.
We didn't even talk about that shit.
Right.
Come on, man. This shit is powerful. Listen, Jeff, you got 10 seconds. Come on.
You know, there's a core issue. Racism exists. Power-hungry, drunk police officers exist. What is the common denominator in making sure that you go home? Is following a protocol that will ensure that you don't raise the boiling temperature that will cause you to go in a direction, or the officer to go in a direction that you never intended.
Because Jeff, he wants to go in another direction, right?
Absolutely.
He tries to
So
raise the aggression.
he's waiting for you to cross the line.
Because he doesn't know who you are. And he doesn't care.
It is possible to provoke what you do not deserve.
That's right.
Yes.
In the immortal words of Michael Collier, when he was on here a few months ago, he said, "Treat a traffic stop like baseball. Just want to make it home safe."
Wow.
And there's a way to do that.
No bats, no batted balls, no hits, no fouls.
And in this
Just make it home
case,
safe.
what you don't know could kill you.
That's right.
Wow. Listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, final thoughts. Crazy show.
What you see with people is that they're desperate to hear what they want to hear. And they're desperate for people to say, oh, no, these conspiracy theorists, they're all crazy, they're all paranoid. It's not really going on. It's ridiculous. And this is done to protect you. This is done for you. We're the government. We care for you. This is why we're doing it. So you go to sleep, watch the telly. There's a game on in a minute, and you'll be fine. And we're just going to build another concentration camp, okay? See you later. And what we need to do is stop this self-indulgence of picking up what we want to hear and trying to get ourselves to believe it. There's not a problem here. And actually look it in the face and realize that, if anything, George Orwell understated what we are heading towards unless we step up en masse and say enough, no more.
Garner's widow and other family members went to rallies in Harlem and Staten Island on July 19th. People everywhere have condemned not just Garner's death, but the root problem of police brutality targeting communities of color. Kim Moore said, "What the NYPD did to Eric Garner illustrates why black men live in fear daily." And DJ Rob Swift admitted, "When I see a cop walking towards me on the sidewalk, I cross over to the other side of the street." Others demanded accountability. The most horrific thing I've seen in a very long time, Eric Garner, RIP. I hope every cop who participated gets life in prison. So far, the cop who put Eric Garner in the alleged chokehold, a move that's illegal, was stripped of his gun and badge but is still at work on desk duty. An investigation is underway. There's actually a long list of controversial killings that have led to little, if any, jail time. The NYPD officer who shot and killed unarmed Ramarley Graham in his own apartment in 2012 was originally charged with manslaughter, but the case was later dropped. The transit officer who killed unarmed Oscar Grant at a train station in Oakland, California, ended up serving just a little more than a year of jail time for involuntary manslaughter. And the police who fired 50 bullets at Sean Bell and 2 other unarmed men in Queens back in 2006 all got off scot-free. On Instagram, I am Queen31 wrote, "Rest in peace, Eric Garner, Sean Bell, Trayvon Martin." That's just to name a few. The list goes on.
Tell me the ways in which white racism adversely impacts the lives of black people. Just what are the ways that white racism can adversely impact the lives of black people as a group? What are some of those ways? I'm sorry? Power, but how is that defined specifically? Education, okay. I'm sorry? Economically, employment. What else? Housing, what else? Policing. Why are we here today? Healthcare, okay. Now, we could actually kind of grow that list. Now we're going to move over to black racism. Tell me the ways in which black racism adversely impacts the lives of white people as an entire group. Thank you. The reason why you become silent, there's one that always comes up, and that's fear. White people are afraid of black people. They are afraid of us. And it's a very interesting thing because black people know it. We know white people are afraid. But you have to start getting into the psychology. What are you afraid of? Why are you afraid? But it's an interesting dynamic. Now, also you see the difference in what racism is, do you not? Racism implies you have not just prejudice, but the power to do something with that prejudice. Now, I don't like you, not only that, but I'm going to control whether you can get, you know, I may say I hate you. I hate white people. I hate them. I hate them. It's not going to change you getting that, you know, loan when you go to the bank. You could go, you can hate, I can hate you all the way to the bank. Not going to change. Do you see the difference? That whereas white racism says, not only do I not like you, but I'm going to change the impact of where you can live.
So, another riveting conversation. You guys know the reason why we do the show. We're not trying to tell you what to do. We're trying to give you options. We're trying to have a conversation that is rarely had at this level from the multitude of different perspectives, you know, so you can get the most out of this conversation. You got a fucking psychiatrist in the building. You've got a brother who is as wise as they come from a different generation, who has one foot in the past but another foot in the present, and he's like a bridge. Then you got young brothers who are out here creating new models of possibilities. You've got a brother who's weathered the storm, who's married with kids, who's in the entertainment industry, who fucking was a Marine and a martial artist. Then you got a brother who is not a slave, right? Who has done independent studies and research. Then you have myself, who's done the same. Then you have a sister who's a transformational life coach. just to give you a multitude of perspectives. So you could say, wow, let me begin my process of inquiry where I can study objectively so I can get a better footing as a citizen in a society that's built on white supremacy. My uncle at 19 was at UCLA, and he graduated, and he's 70 now. He graduated with a degree in engineering from UCLA. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. He said the black man, in order to have a wonderful life in America, must learn to become the world's greatest sociologist. He has to be a sociologist so he can learn how to navigate through this system. P.O.P is saying, let me help you become a sociologist so you can navigate without getting in trouble. It's fucking unfortunate that we have to be coping artists in order to live in a pseudo-free society. It's fucked up. But if you learned to use the coping mechanism to create hip-hop, then you can use another coping mechanism to make it home safely. If you learn to cope, right, or to use a coping mechanism to create fucking R&B and jazz, then these brothers are saying, well, shit, here's a coping mechanism to get your ass home. Now, I'm not a coper. I'm a fuck around and get killed because I'm just not a kowtow artist. I just don't do it. And I'm going to tell you, the system is designed to keep you thinking you ain't shit. That woman just said something very profound. You know what she said? She said white people scared of black people. But I'm going to do her one better. Black people scared of black people too. And that's what keeps us separate. We have learned to fear black people in the same way white people fear black people. You got black people of affluence that fear helping niggas that ain't doing as good as them. You got black people pulling up the ladder. Fuck that. You not coming up here. Shit. And therein lies the problem with our fucking community. You got black people who are more comfortable in white supremacy than they are around other black people. Tell it. Refuse to help. Refuse to say, no, let me help educate this brother and turn this dude around. That's Sonny Red. He could be Malcolm. Let me provide him the Malcolm resources. No, fuck that. Because if I provide you the Malcolm resources, you might get closer to Massa's nuts than I am. I'm not giving up my position under them warm-ass nuts. Smell like ass, but it's flowery ass. It's pink ass. I'm just saying. And therein lies our problem as a community. Black people fearing other black people. At the end of the day, at the very end of the day, the only resource when it comes to a community is the community itself. Black people, you should do what the African black does. Mutombo, that motherfucker came, got that education from Georgetown, and went home. Built a hospital at home. Indians, they come here, get this education, and go home. Chinese people come here, get the education, live in their community, Chinatown, then go home. Take that knowledge back. Arabs, get that education, go to motherfucking UCLA. You're going to see Asians, you're going to see Arabs, you're going to see Hindus, they get that education and go home. Niggas get the education and then move where white folk are. And then look at other niggas and go, oh, this nigga isn't raised properly. This nigga is of a lower class of Negroes. We should never have these niggas amongst us. Wait, nigga, this ain't even Zamunda. I can see if you was African. But you understand what I'm saying? Therein lies the poison in our community. If we don't get it right, And I'm telling you, in a relatively short amount of time, it's the death of we. We as a people, we as a community. I appreciate the P.O.P brothers for coming. I appreciate Bobby, Doc, Jeff, my man Kev. I appreciate everybody for contributing. Veronica, this is what we do. The Voice of Reason. Zoe What Morning Show. This is what we do, man. So with that, that's my final thought. Let me thank everybody for coming. Bobby, where do they find you?
At Glanton-Smith on Twitter, www.realmendon'tplay.com.
Kip?
YouTube video channel Real Nagas, REELNAGAS, and also the Booty Boxing Home System. That's udemy.com/bootyboxing, and the promo code is ZoWhatShow.
Yep.
Yeah, check out Talking to Crazy at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and help you stay unflappable.
Jeff?
Jeff Dyson. Reach me at popprotocol.org, www.popprotocol.org.
Love it.
This week, Jeff Brown taping his show, Chariots, at the SEMA show in Las Vegas.
Love it.
Sean Collinson at popprotocol.org, popprotocol.org.
Hey, IamZoeWilliams.com. Go order a copy of The Relationship Dismount. That's another poison area in our community is relationships. I've got the philosophical relationship book for your ass. The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing when exiting a toxic relationship. Go ahead.
You got some fans, Zoe Williams, at the Firehouse 29. I was just in New Orleans. Shout out, fellas. They saw me walking down the street, recognized me, told me to say hi to Zoe. There he is. He loves you. I love you. That's
Much respect. What? Oh, the raffle. You guys got to support my raffle. $10. We're going to be raffling off prizes. Relationship counseling, a free book. Oh, books. Dr. G's book, Jeff's book, and of course, my man Sean Collinson's book, my CD. We're going to be raffling them off. $10. All you got to do is go to PayPal, drop $10 on my email, which is ZoeWilliamsOrders@gmail.com. Great show. Appreciate you guys. What am I saying? Oh, the photo shoot? Oh, and Chris is throwing in a photo shoot. We raffling off a whole bunch of shit. Photo shoots, everything. Veronica Conway, where do they find you?
And Black Mastery. Yeah.
Oh, we gonna raffle off Black Mastery too? Damn, look at that package. $10. ZoeWilliamsOrders@gmail.com. Get there right now. Support the movement. We'll see you next week with another heater. Appreciate it. Let's go. Smell like ass, but it's flowery ass. It's pink ass. I'm just saying. And therein lies our problem as a community. Black people fearing other black people. At the end of the day, at the very end of the day, Arabs, get that education, go to motherfucking UCLA. You're going to see Asians, you're going to see Arabs, you're going to see Hindus, you're going to get that education and go home. Niggas get the education and then move where white folk are. And then look at other niggas and go, oh, this nigga isn't raised properly. This nigga is of a lower class of Negroes. We should never have these niggers amongst us. Wait, nigga, this ain't even Zamunda. I can see if you was African. But you understand what I'm saying? Therein lies the poison in our community. If we don't get it right, and I'm telling you, in a relatively short amount of time, it's the death of we. We as a people, we as a community. I appreciate the P.O.P brothers for coming. I appreciate Bobby, Doc, Jeff, my man Kev. I appreciate everybody for contributing. Veronica, this is what we do. The Voice of Reason. Zoe What Morning Show. This is what we do, man. So with that, that's my final thought. Let me thank everybody for coming. Bobby, where do they find you?
At Glanton-Smith on Twitter, www.realmendon'tplay.com.
Kip?
YouTube video channel Real Nagas, REELNAGAS, and also the Booty Boxing Home System. That's udemy.com/bootyboxing, and the promo code is ZoWhatShow.
Yep.
Yeah, check out Talking to Crazy at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and help you stay unflappable.
Jeff?
Jeff Dyson. Reach me at popprotocol.org, www.popprotocol.org.
Love it.
This week, Jeff Brown taping his show, Chariots at the SEMA show
Love
in
it.
Las Vegas.
Love it, love it, love it.
Sean Collinson at popprotocol.org, popprotocol.org.
Hey, IamZoeWilliams.com. Go order a copy of the Relationship Dismount. That's another poison area in our community is relationships. I've got the philosophical relationship book for your ass. The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing when Exiting a Toxic Relationship. Go ahead.
You got some fans, Zoe Williams, at the Firehouse 29. I was just in New Orleans. Shout out, fellas. They saw me walking down the street, recognized me, told me to say hi to Zoe. There he is. He loves you. I love you. That's
Much
what's
respect. What? Oh, the raffle. You guys got to support my raffle. $10. We're going to be raffling off prizes. Relationship counseling, a free book. Oh, books. Dr. G's book, Jeff's book, and of course, my man Sean Collinson's book, my CD. We're going to be raffling them off. $10. All you got to do is go to PayPal, drop $10 on my email, which is zoewilliamsorders@gmail.com. Great show. Appreciate you guys. What am I saying? Oh, the photo shoot? Oh, and Chris is throwing in a photo shoot. We raffling off a whole bunch of shit. Photo shoots, everything. Veronica Conway, where did they find you?
And Black Mastery. Yeah.
Oh, we gonna raffle off Black Mastery too? Damn, look at that package. $10. ZoeWilliamsOrders@gmail.com. Get there right now. Support the movement. We'll see you next week with another heater. Appreciate it. Let's go.